Ortiz and even meteorologist Nathan Scott's in the building. We're getting set up for this afternoon's probability of severe weather in Arkansas and some new things to share with you. First of all, let me welcome Corallys in. Corallys, good afternoon. Great job today covering the weather. It's been a long day for you.
Oh yeah, already since early this morning, and there's still plenty more to go.
Plenty more to go. Now we've had two waves. We had the warm front moved through earlier. We've also had a secondary line that is now pretty much pushed out of Arkansas and has fallen apart. And now we're awaiting another round of severe weather, strong to severe weather, the potential in northwest Arkansas, where you can see over into around the Tulsa area, tornado warning and a severe thunderstorm warning. This is associated with low pressure and the cold front that's going to be moving into the state this afternoon. Now, we've had a pretty stable environment in central Arkansas because of the rainfall and the cloud cover from this morning. But in western and northwestern Arkansas, the sun has come out and has helped to destabilize the atmosphere there. Therefore, just moments ago, Storm Prediction Center has pasted a tornado watch box for several northwestern Arkansas counties and even a few counties in northeast Arkansas. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw some strong storms fill in this area and in around the Little Rock area this afternoon. So we've got that watch box, and we have a few counties in eastern and southeast Arkansas that are under a tornado watch as well. All right, let's fast forward, tell you kind of what's been happening here and why the watch has been posted in northwest Arkansas with our visible satellite. Again, we're going to take you back in time and show you that the cloud cover has really been thick over the Little Rock area, central Arkansas, northeast Arkansas. There you go, big canopy of clouds with heavy rain. That really helped to calm things down. It took a lot of energy out of the atmosphere. But over the last few hours, we have seen the breaks in the clouds, so more instability is building out to the west of us, and you've got a pretty strong lifting mechanism, a cold front, and that frontal boundary is not far from western Arkansas. It's going to plow into that air mass, and yeah, we're going to see thunderstorms develop. Look at the temperatures. It's 73 in Fort Smith. In Little Rock, it's 70, and this is as of 2 o'clock. In northeast and eastern Arkansas, the temperatures are still in the 60s. There has been some adjustment to our severe weather outlook, whereas we were under a high risk of severe weather earlier today, but because of the rain and the thunderstorms and a lot of that energy being rained out of the atmosphere, we're now in a medium risk, slight risk, in the area that's over northern Arkansas and northeastern Oklahoma also continues a risk with that area of low pressure there. I'm going to turn it to Corallys Ortiz. She's going to break all this down for you, what it could mean for the rest of the afternoon. So go ahead, Corallys, take it away.
Yeah, I just actually wanted to let you know they did update that tornado watch over in western Arkansas. So they expanded to a few more counties. We got Boone, Johnson, Logan, Marion, Montgomery, Newton, Polk, Pope, Scott, Searcy, and Yale. All this is until 8 o'clock this evening, essentially. So they just expanded off of that. Like you mentioned, there's an area of low pressure that's kind of trekking across northwestern Arkansas. That's going to bring us the chance to see some more active weather. We have been, unfortunately, destabilizing once again. So I actually wanted to go ahead and look at the Futurecast on what we can expect to see. Unlike this last round that we had earlier this afternoon, this one is going to have the chance to see a little bit more of those scattered showers and storms. Does become a little bit more concerning because those kind of have a better risk of possibly kind of creating those quick those spin-ups. So starting off right now, fast forwarding, this front actually has kind of slowed down a little bit. Earlier runs had it moving across the state around this time or only within a couple hours from now, but it's still over in parts of Oklahoma. So going across the 4 o'clock hour, you're starting to see those little individual cells pop up ahead of that cold front. Essentially, the highest risk for seeing some more of that severe weather, where they issued that new tornado watch that has the chance to produce pretty dangerous tornadoes. That's what the area that has the best chance for that. So I'm going to go ahead and go hour by hour with this. It's 5 o'clock hour. Still continuing to see those scattered showers and storms move across the area and the eastern portion of the state. Going on into the 6 o'clock hour, it's starting to diminish a little bit, but we still have some possible trailing showers and storms there as it starts to cross over the Mississippi Delta region. And then by 8 o'clock, we will slowly start to kind of see the threat diminish, but I honestly will not be surprised if this kind of lingers on into even the 9 o'clock hour. As you can kind of see, still seeing a few of those storm clusters in parts of northeastern Arkansas. I want to say by the time we get towards our 10 o'clock show, we should start to see conditions improve. So after that, though, the rest of the night is fairly quiet for us, and the week ahead, besides seeing a few lingering showers associated wrapped around that area of low pressure. So kind of going back to the severe weather outlook, breaking it down for each risk, we are still expecting to possibly see one of those strong tornadoes possible, especially the closer we get towards south and east Arkansas. And those are possibly the more dangerous long track ones, looking like a high possibility. Hail. They have kind of diminished the threat a little bit. Earlier this morning, we saw 2 to 3 inch diameter of hail being reported. So that's up to tennis ball size possible in those areas, mostly in the hatched areas, the same area that's expecting the higher threat for that severe weather risk. Winds within those storms also a concern. We saw reports of seeing trees down in some buildings here, even in Pulaski County. So we could be seeing isolated to scatter reports of some wind damage as well, with gusts as high as 60 and maybe even higher in some locations. So again, going back on the radar, Tom, just to kind of have a better picture of what's kind of going on right now. Essentially, we are starting to even see that second round start to creep on up with those warnings over in Oklahoma.
You can certainly see that the activity southwest of Little Rock is beginning to fill in, and those warnings in Oklahoma. So the storms in northwest Arkansas that are beginning to fire up here could have hail and, of course, the chance of a weak, brief tornado. I want to turn our attention to meteorologist Scott Covert. He has been on the road for us today, and he's down in Star City in Lincoln County, where earlier today we had a line of strong thunderstorms move through. The atmosphere may be priming up yet again for some storms later in the day. Let's turn things over to Scott down in Star City. Scott.
Hey, good afternoon, Tom and Corrales. That's right, I'm in the town square here in Star City. That's Lincoln County. Had a very active morning along with Corrales. We tracked those storms this morning. It did prompt a tornado warning around 5 o'clock this morning for some counties here in the southeast part of the state. Right now, it is, generally speaking, it's pretty cloudy, but we're starting to see those clouds break up. Those breaks in the clouds, of course, going to allow the sunshine to refuel that atmosphere, and that's why we're still concerned about what's going to be happening here in the southeast corner of the state this afternoon into this evening. The temperature has climbed about 12 degrees here in Weather Force 11 over the last couple of hours as the rain moved out, the sun's starting to peek through. Winds are pretty gusty this afternoon, straight out of the south between about 10 and 15 miles per hour. The breaks in the clouds certainly concerning. As you said earlier, with all of that rain this morning, it really worked over the atmosphere, which really is good news. It really has diminished our severe weather threat. But if there is a key message to communicate, is that the threat's not totally over yet. We've got to keep our guard up here for a few more hours before we actually finally see this system pass on through. With that said, Tom Corrales, I'm going to send things back to you.
All right, Scott Covert, meteorologist Scott Covert, joining us from Star City, Arkansas, where earlier this morning we did have some strong thunderstorms. Once again, we want to show you the watches we have in effect. The new watch until 8 o'clock that includes some northeast Oklahoma counties and counties in northwest Arkansas, and even a few here in the THV 11 viewing area. And 2 counties in eastern Arkansas, 2 counties in southeast Arkansas under a tornado watch till 7 o'clock. A PDS watch, particularly dangerous situation, and it appears as if Mississippi and Alabama are going to bear the brunt once again of the severe weather. We're looking at spotty showers beginning to re-energize as the atmosphere recovers. As we look at what's happening on live radar, these storms in northern Louisiana and southern Arkansas have the potential to cover southeast Arkansas. Right now, they're moving to the east-northeast. You can see there's a severe thunderstorm warning box here, but look what's happening over in Alabama and Mississippi, you've got tornado warnings. So once again, a big bullseye for those folks. Certainly wish them well. Not a good day there. In Arkansas, with the morning round of convection, the warm front and the line of storms, we have stabilized, but things are beginning to change. We will have further updates for you throughout the afternoon, and of course we'll break in if we have any tornado warnings here from THV 11. For now, we will send you back.